You went through the nightmare of becoming a permanent resident, and then you subsequently complied with all the US laws, and now you think you're eligible for citizenship. Are you? I'm Puyan Darian, here to talk about naturalization. I like to explain the naturalization process in 4 steps to my clients. Step 1 is submitting Form N-400, the application, along with the filing fee, which right now in February 2022 is $725, along with all the supporting documents. I'm not going to go into what those supporting documents are because it's very case specific and I don't want you to be misled from this video. So after you submit the form, USCIS will mail you a receipt notice that says they've received the money, they've received the application, and it's pending. 1 to 2 months later is step 2, the biometrics notice. You'll receive a fingerprinting notice. It's an appointment notice. It'll say the time and date. You show up there, you bring the notice and your passport. They'll take your fingerprints and a photograph so that they can continue processing your case. Step 3 is the naturalization interview. This can include an examination to make sure you can speak English, you can read and write English, and you can pass the civics history exam. The civics and history exam can be drawn from 100 questions. They're available on the USCIS website, and the officer will pick 10 randomly and will ask you the questions. If you get 60% correct, you've passed the examination. If you fail, if you're unable to answer 6 out of 10 correctly, you can retake the examination 120 days later. For the English portion of your citizenship interview, the officer will generally just converse with you to determine whether they think you speak sufficient English, and they'll ask you to write 1 sentence for them. I just went to one of these last week and they asked the applicant to write 1 sentence on an iPad. It was a tablet. And I believe the sentence was, "Only US citizens can vote." He wrote it. We were escorted out of the interview and given a piece of paper that said, "You passed the examination, just wait for further processing." So I informed my client, now we just wait for another notice scheduling the swearing in ceremony, which will be step 4. The final step in the process is the naturalization ceremony, where you will surrender your green card, swear or affirm all of the things on the naturalization application. You can find it at the end of the application. It's an oath of allegiance, basically saying you're willing to bear arms or do non-combatant service if we go to war and all this fun stuff. After that, you'll receive a certificate of naturalization. You will walk out of that ceremony a citizen, and you can immediately go and apply for your US passport. Sounds easy, right? Not so fast. While the citizenship application procedure is pretty straightforward, especially when you compare it to the litany of forms you need for adjustment of status, there are complications which may arise. Let me give you an example. I once had a client who had been living here for 25 years with his green card, filed his taxes every year, was law-abiding. We applied for citizenship, passed the examination. He was scheduled for the first interview, passed the examination, received a notice saying you've passed the interview. Months later, still no notice for swearing in ceremony. A year later, he hires me. I contact USCIS, and a year after that, we got a notice to appear in immigration court to begin deportation proceedings because, as it turned out, he was supposed to file a form to remove the conditions on his residency in 1990. And USCIS caught the error when he applied for citizenship. You may know from my other videos that I recommend submitting a FOIA request so that your attorney can review your entire immigration history before submitting the citizenship application. That advice is particularly applicable if you've been here for a long time, if you're not sure exactly what your immigration history was or who petitioned for you to come here, or if you've had any criminal history in the past. Citizenship is great because once you become a citizen, there's no more USCIS, no more dealing with immigration. You can live in the US for the rest of your life. You can depart for 10 years outside of the US, come back, no problem. You're a US citizen for life. The example I gave was of one nightmare scenario. I don't mean for that to scare you into not applying for citizenship. I'm just giving examples of situations I've encountered to demonstrate that this can be more complicated than I'm making it sound, and that you really shouldn't leave it up to chance. You really should consult with a lawyer before applying for this immigration benefit. If you appreciated this video, or if you have questions, put them in the comments below. I really do take time to answer your questions, and if you leave a really good comment, I'll use it for a topic for my next video. See you guys next time.